Way low.
What was going on with that?
Well, that's
Oh, well, that was, yeah, because there was the other one over on, and there was the other one over on Charles too, like right.
Was it like a Monday and I was off or something?
No, that was a Thursday, I think. No, that's he did a Facebook Live and he had it flipped towards his face and he had a filter on. And it pops a Blues Brothers hat in his head.
Nice.
It's just like, ooh. We have it saved somewhere, I'm pretty sure.
Recently?
No, this was way low, so way back in May.
Way back in May, when we're on murder, you know.
Are you supposed to be here shortly?
Yeah.
All right. I make a better window than a door? That's him. Good evening, Facebook Live audience. 13 News reporter William Engels coming to you from the corner of Springfield and South Main Street. As you can see, a very heavy police presence here right now. To this point, we do not know what is the reason for this police presence. We are expected to speak with Rockford Police Chief Jan O'Shea here in the next couple minutes, so hopefully we'll have an update for you shortly. But obviously, as you can see from the picture I'm giving to you now, anywhere in the area of South Main Street and Springfield, make sure you're avoiding that area at all costs. Police have blocked off these roads a few blocks or so in both directions, in all directions, I beg your pardon. So if you're in this area, make sure you're finding a new route and avoiding it, because as you can see, a number of emergency personnel are making sure that this area is blocked off for the time being. For those of you in the comments, this is Springfield, Springfield and Harrison. It changes off depending on which way you go on this road. So this is the intersection of South Main and Springfield and/or Harrison. This is where the street name changes. So both names are technically correct here. Just like I said, make sure you're avoiding this area. We are supposed to have more details here for you within the next 10 to 15 minutes at the most. So for those of you just tuning in here to this Facebook Live, we are on the corner, we're on the intersection, rather, of Springfield and South Main. To keep note, this is where Springfield and Harrison, that street name changes. So there are some people in the comments saying Harrison, some people saying Springfield. That is the same road here. This is just the intersection where that street name changes. But either way, the intersection of South Main and Springfield, you can see here a lot of police presence here. This is going to be closed down here for quite some time. And it is closed off in all directions here a few blocks before this intersection. So we aren't quite sure as to what this police presence is for. However, we are supposed to talk with Rockford Police Chief Dan O'Shea within the next few minutes here. So we should have an update for you coming up shortly. But like I said, avoid this area at all costs. It is, as you can see, completely blocked off here by emergency personnel.
Spot where you're all going to go and you can actually use your cameras.
Say, you okay if I come over here?
It's okay. We're social distancing and I got mine on. I don't care.
It's literally all the way over there in my car.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I left the pole, so. Would you like me to put the wireless on you? I'm not supposed
got
to,
like
but.
20 masks in my cars, my desk.
There's like 5 on my car.
Yeah, you know, I got this.
So as you see here, we're setting up for a media conference here with Rockford Police Chief Dan O'Shea as to what the nature is of the situation here in the intersection of Springfield and South Main. So we'll have that for you in just a couple minutes.
Yeah, my son texts me and says, Mom, what size of jeans do I wear? And I'm like, how old are you? He's 22. He's like, can I wear a 34, 34? He's really tall. I said, yeah. And he's like, because I'm going hunting tomorrow and I need camo pants. And then he sends me a picture of like this camo sweatshirt and pants.
Chief, I'll have you take one step forward if you don't mind.
And he's like, look, you can't see me. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Take your time. Don't hurry. Don't rush. Seriously.
Sorry about that.
No worries. I made it a short timeline. Once I told her 6:45, I'm like, oh, that's only 30 minutes, so I apologize.
No.
Try and make it work for everybody.
I was in track across the field, elected.
I mean, I'm glad I'm in gym shoes today.
And I was trying to do it. I was going to go down the street, do it there at the intersection for you, but then you won't have this in the background. No, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we definitely.
Trying to work for everybody.
Well, I'm gonna pin the batteries here, so. Otherwise, he's gonna be holding one.
Take your time, and when everybody's ready, we'll start.
Cord it is.
Yep, sure. I'm just getting a fresh white up here.
Yeah, that would be good. Can I keep that out there?
Make sure you're in the best lighting.
Yeah.
It's teamwork. There you go. All right, we good?
All right.
I feel like I should.
Are you gonna hold yours out? You wanna hold mine?
I'll
with
take
it?
my mask off and talk
You
loud,
want
so
him
they'll
to
pick it
hold
up
it either way?
from a distance, guys and gals. Just let me know when everybody's ready to go.
Ready when you are.
Ready? Start it or they just want to
Hang on.
You can look at her, that'd be great.
I'll look straight ahead. You get the focus. You good?
Yes.
All right, Chief O'Shea, can you kind of give us an idea of what we're looking at here at the intersection of South Main and Springfield?
So tonight about 5:30 p.m., officers in District 1 observed a vehicle that they've currently been looking for an investigation, as well as the individual driving the vehicle currently wanted on outstanding warrants. Before they could make contact, the suspect left in the vehicle. The officers attempted to make a traffic stop, and a pursuit initiated. down the west side over here to Springfield and Main Street, or Harrison and Main Street. The suspect avoided stop sticks during the chase, eluding the police, driving through off the road. Crashed here into another vehicle that was not part of the chase. It was just a vehicle driving on the road. Suspect then exited the vehicle, and officers engaged him, and an officer-involved shooting resulted during that incident. Based on it being an officer-involved shooting, the suspect is still alive. I'm led to believe it's non-life-threatening injuries at this point that he sustained from the gunfire. One officer was involved in the gunfire incident. Based on the circumstances and the facts of the case, I've requested the Winnebago Boone County Integrity Task Force be activated. Chief Theo Glover's here from the Park District Police, and from this point forward, the State Police and the Integrity Task Force will conduct the investigation going forward. I've also notified the State's Attorney's Office, so any further statements or comments regarding this investigation will come from the Integrity Task Force or the State's Attorney's Office. At this point, the Rockford Police Department will not be involved in any part of the investigation going forward.
Can you tell us more about what the suspect was wanted for?
He was wanted on outstanding warrants for weapon offenses and other offenses, but I'm not privy to all the exact warrants. So at this point, that's all I've got. The whole incident pursuit lasted approximately somewhere 8 to 9 minutes.
Outside of the one vehicle that apparently struck, is there any other vehicles that were kind of hampered? Or
I'm not sure on other vehicles that may have been hit at the intersection. It looks like only one, but I could be misled. And there's a couple of civilian witnesses that are also remained that were there during the incident.
Nobody was hurt?
No one else appears to be hurt at this point. The officers are being treated at a hospital as per our normal protocol when they're involved in shooting incidents. And at this point, I'll turn everything else over going forward to the Integrity Task Force to provide any further information or statements. All right? Thanks, everybody.
Here you go, Tim.
Thank you.
Okay.
I probably should have asked them, do we know how long they'll probably close for tonight? Or is that like an impossible prediction?
So for those of you just received an update from Rockford Police Chief Jan Osei as to the nature of this police presence here on Springfield and South Main Street here. First and foremost, if you have any travel plans in this area, it is very important that you avoid this area. Multiple blocks of traffic have been blocked off in all directions here for the foreseeable future. So if you had any plans on coming in this direction, make sure you avoid them. As for the nature of why the police presence is here, Rockford Police Chief Dan O'Shea confirms to us right here that this is multiple officers found a car that they had been searching for, and one person with multiple warrants was in that car. A chase ensued, and at the end of this chase there was an officer-involved shooting. The person that Rockford Police was looking for was shot. Rockford Police Chief Dan O'Shea says he believes that those injuries to that person are non-life-threatening at this point. However, anything else from this investigation, he says, is going to come from the Winnebago Boone County Task Force, Integrity Task Force. So that is essentially the last update he'll be giving us when it comes to this particular investigation. Said that this one individual that they were looking for was wanted on at least some sort of felony gun charge. However, that's all he was really privy to give us at this moment, according to Police Chief Dan O'Shea. He also said that no officers were harmed in this incident either. However, they are in the hospital right now, as he says is protocol with any officer-involved shooting incident. Excuse me here, I'm just trying to fix the white balance here on the camera. I'll hopefully have this, have the light here figured out in just a moment. That might be the best way to go here. Canadian Facebook Live audience, the news reporter William Ingalls coming to you live from the intersection of South Main and Springfield. Just a quick note as far as where this is. This is the area where Springfield and Harrison Avenue, that's where the road changes. So you might see a couple of people saying this is the intersection of Main and Harrison. Some people saying this is the intersection of Main and Springfield. It's the same location, same road. As you can see here, a major police presence here at the intersection, though. We did just get an update from Police Chief Dan O'Shea, where this is the scene of an officer-involved shooting. O'Shea says that there was a vehicle found that the police had been looking for some time, including one suspect which was wanted on multiple warrants. Chief O'Shea said that did include a felony gun charge, or at least a gun charge of some sort, at which point the officers pursued this person, and the chase ensued from there. The end of this chase resulted in the suspect trying to flee from the car, at which point the officers fired a shot. The victim at that point, the suspect at that point, was then hit. O'Shea says that he believes that this victim did not suffer life-threatening injuries. However, the Rockford Police Department has handed this incident over to the Winnebago-Boone County Integrity Task Force, since it is an officer-involved shooting. So not a lot of details other than that we have at this point, and any other updates will come from that task force, not from the Rockford Police Department. But one thing to take away from here, if you're planning traveling anywhere in the area of Main Street and Springfield or Harrison, depending on what you call it here, make sure you're avoiding this area. The traffic is blocked off in all directions here and a few blocks back from this intersection as well, so make sure you're avoiding the area at all costs. Peyton Kohler, no, Springfield and Harrison isn't an intersection. It is the intersection of Springfield and South Main. This is just where where Springfield and Harrison changed names here at this intersection, but it is the intersection out South Main Street. So moving on over here to where the majority of the police presence is here, which is a little bit further down South Main Street, a little bit past the intersection here. Apologize for the lighting here. It's a little bit difficult to nail down here this late in the evening with this many bright lights. But around this area is where we believe the suspect attempted to flee, and this is where the chase ended, around this area here, at which point the suspect fled the vehicle, and the officers, or at least one officer here, fired. We don't know how many times the officer fired his gun, but we do know that the suspect they were chasing was hit by gunfire. To this point, Chief O'Shea believes that those injuries are non-life-threatening. However, at this point, Rockford Police have handed this over to the Winnebago-Boone County Integrity Task Force here for any future updates. So this is all we're going to hear from Rockford Police for the evening, and chances are this is all we're likely to hear for the rest of the night until we hear an update from the Winnebago-Boone Integrity Task Force here. But like I said a couple of times here, if you're in the area of South Main and Springfield, or South Main and Harrison, it's the same road, same intersection. It's just where Springfield and Harrison changes names. But if you're anywhere near the area, make sure you're avoiding it at all costs here. Traffic is blocked in all directions here, and it's blocked a few blocks further back from each direction as well. So just make sure you're avoiding this area here. So for these of you just tuning in here to this Facebook Live, we're at the intersection of South Main Street and Springfield. Some people in the comments have been saying South Main and Harrison. This is the intersection where those streets changed names here, so it is the same place. But where I'm pointing the camera here now is where we've seen the main amount of police presence here. That's because it's led us to believe that this is the scene where this chase ended here. I'll back up a little bit for you here. We just talked to Police Chief Dan O'Shea, in which this is the scene of an officer-involved shooting, in which Rockford Police were chasing one suspect. Rockford Police were chasing one suspect, and it ensued in a car chase. The suspect at that point then tried to flee the car when they got to about this area here, a little bit past the intersection. That suspect attempted to flee the vehicle, at which point officers fired upon that suspect. Police Chief Jan Osei says he does not believe that those injuries to the suspect are life-threatening at this point. However, any further updates will not be coming from Rockford Police. They'll be coming from the Winnebago-Boone County Integrity Task Force from here on out, as with any officer-involved shooting. As for the condition of the officers, they are both in the hospital. However, this is just protocol for any officer-involved shooting. Chief Osei said there is no markable injury to them to this point. They are just in the hospital as part of routine with officer-involved shootings. As I mentioned a few times here on this Facebook Live feed, if you're in the area of Springfield and South Main Street, just make sure you're avoiding this area. Traffic blocked off in all four directions here and blocked off from a few blocks back in each direction. So you aren't going to be able just to get up to the intersection and turn around. There's a number of blocks that have been pushed further back by police barricades. So just make sure you're avoiding the area at all costs here. For those of you just tuning in here to this Facebook Live, we are here at the intersection of South Main Street and Springfield, where Chief O'Shea says this is the location of an officer-involved shooting. He says that Rockford Police found a vehicle that they had been searching for some time and had a suspect inside it that had multiple warrants. Chief O'Shea says that one of those involved some illegal firearm charges. However, he said he didn't have all that information. However, from there, a chase proceeded when officers attempted to stop the vehicle. Chief O'Shea said multiple spike strips were deployed. However, in that chase, the suspect vehicle avoided those. However, it did end right about here at this intersection. You can see the large collections of lights further back, a little bit to the right of the picture I'm giving you right now. This is where the chase ended. The vehicle crashed into another vehicle that was not involved in the chase. From that point, the suspect attempted to flee, at which point Rockford officers fired their guns, at some point striking that intended suspect. Chief O'Shea says that the suspect does not have life-threatening injuries. However, there will be no more updates from Rockford Police about this. This has been handed over to the Winnebago-Boone County Integrity Task Force at this point. The officers are in the hospital. However, he says that is because of protocol when it comes to officer-involved shootings. So like I said, this has been handed over to the Winnebago-Boone County Integrity Task Force, so no more updates coming from the Rockford Police Department. This has been handed over, the investigation standpoint, to the Winnebago-Boone Integrity Task Force. I see a few people asking in the comments where this is when it comes to kind of a larger geographic location. This is Rockford, Illinois. More specifically to Rockford, this is Springfield and South Main Street as an intersection right next to the Rock River. Intersection is South Main Street and Springfield Avenue. However, this is the area where Springfield turns into Harrison, so you might see some people saying South Main and Harrison. It's the same road, same location. Just as we move the camera, we're going to try to give you a different angle of the scene here. No, we've been giving you the same angle here for about a half hour or so, so we're going to move the camera here, so just give us a moment here. So for those of you tuning in here, we're going to run through the information one more time before wrapping up this Facebook Live. We're here at the intersection of Springfield and South Main Street, where Rockford Police confirmed to us that this is the scene of an officer-involved shooting. Rockford Police Chief Dan O'Shea says that officers saw a suspect vehicle that they had been searching for, and the driver had multiple warrants, including some illegal gun charges, at which point officers proceeded to chase that vehicle, and the suspect vehicle gave chase and attempted to flee and elude. From there, Rockford Police continued that chase involving spike strips as well. They say that the suspect vehicle avoided all those types of tactics, at which point the crash kind of came to a head here. You can see kind of to the right here of the picture we're giving you is where kind of all of that happened, at which point the suspect vehicle crashed and the suspect attempted to flee. That's where Rockford officers fired upon that suspect, striking the suspect with what Police Chief Dan O'Shea says are non-life-threatening injuries to this point. However, that is all the information we're going to be getting from the Rockford Police Department, as this has been handed over to the Winnebago-Boone County Integrity Task Force. If you are in the area of South Main and Springfield, make sure you're avoiding it. Traffic's blocked off in all directions here, and it's blocked a few blocks further down in all four directions. So make sure you're avoiding this area. Looks like this is going to be blocked off for the next several hours. So for now, reporting live in Rockford, I'm William Ingalls. Thanks for watching.